Hi guys, Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to my channel. This time in this video, I'm going to interpret the story about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So here we go.
Once upon a time, a princess named Snow White lived in a castle with her father, the king, and her stepmother, the queen. Her father had always said to his daughter that she must be fair to everyone at court. He said, "People come here to the castle when they have a problem. They need the ruler to make a fair decision. Nothing is more important than to be fair." The queen, Snow White's stepmother, knew how much this meant to her husband. At the first chance, she went to her magic mirror. "Mirror, mirror on the wall," said the queen, "who is the fairest of them all?" "Snow White is the fairest of them all," said the magic mirror.
Dahulu kala, seorang putri bernama Salju Putih atau Snow White tinggal di sebuah kastil bersama ayahnya Raja dan ibu tirinya Ratu. Ayahnya selalu berkata kepada putrinya bahwa dia pasti adil bagi semua orang di pengadilan. Ayahnya berkata, orang-orang yang memiliki masalah datang ke sini. Mereka membutuhkan penguasa untuk membuat keputusan yang adil. Tidak ada yang lebih penting daripada bersikap adil. Sang ratu, ibu tiri Putri Salju, tahu betapa ini sangat berarti bagi suaminya Raja. Pada kesempatan pertama, dia pergi ke cermin ajaibnya. Lalu dia berkata, "Cermin-cermin di dinding, siapa tercantik dari semuanya?" Kemudian, Putri Salju adalah yang tercantik dari semuanya, jawab cermin ajaib.
"What?" yelled the queen. "No one is more fair than I." The queen must have the best of everything. Everyone knows that. What could be more fair than that? "Snow White is the fairest of them all," repeated the magic mirror. "What do you know? You're a mirror," roared the queen, and she stormed off.
"Apa?" teriak sang ratu. "Tidak ada yang lebih cantik dariku. Ratu harus memiliki yang terbaik dari segalanya. Dan semua orang tahu itu." "Putri Salju adalah yang tercantik dari semuanya," ulang cermin ajaib. "Apa yang kamu tahu? Kamu adalah cermin," raung sang ratu dan dia bergegas pergi.
The queen was bothered. So bothered was she that the queen decided to be rid of the girl once and for all. "I cannot wait another day," she declared. The queen called for her servant, a huntsman. "Find a reason to take Snow White deep into the woods," she said, pointing her long finger at the servant. "Then kill her."
Tetap saja ratu merasa terganggu. Dia begitu terganggu sehingga ratu memutuskan untuk menyingkirkan gadis tersebut untuk selama-lamanya. "Saya tidak bisa menunggu hari lain," ratu berkata. Ratu memanggil pelayannya, seorang pemburu. "Temukan alasan untuk membawa Putri Salju jauh ke dalam hutan," katanya sambil menunjukkan jari panjangnya pada pelayan tersebut. "Kalau begitu, bunuh saja dia."
The huntsman was shocked. But she was the queen, and what could he do? The next day he took Snow White into the woods. As he drew his knife to slay her, Snow White turned around. "Look," she said, taking something out of her pocket. "You have always been so good to me." She held in front of him 6 perfect arrowheads that she had carefully shaped. "Do you like them?" she said.
Pemburu itu kaget. Tapi dia adalah ratu dan apa yang bisa dia lakukan? Keesokan harinya membawa Putri Salju ke hutan. Dia menghunus pisaunya untuk membunuhnya. Putri Salju pun berbalik. "Lihat," katanya, mengeluarkan sesuatu dari sakunya. "Kamu selalu baik kepadaku." Dia memegang depannya 6 anak panah sempurna yang dia bentuk dengan hati-hati. "Anda menyukainya?" kata Putri Salju. "Itu untukmu."
"Snow White," said the huntsman, "I cannot do this." "Do what?" said Snow White. The servant dropped to his knees. "The queen, your stepmother, ordered me to kill you," he said, "but I cannot." "She did what?" Snow White called out with alarm.
"Putri Salju," kata pemburu itu, "saya tidak bisa melakukan ini." "Kamu bisa mengambil ini," kata Putri Salju. "Bukan itu maksudku," kata pelayan tersebut. Dia berlutut. "Bagaimana saya bisa mengatakan ini kepada Anda?" Ratu, ibu tiri Anda, memerintahkan saya untuk membunuh Anda. Tapi saya tidak bisa, kata si pelayan tersebut. Dia melakukan apa? Putri Salju memanggil dengan waspada.
You must run away, said the huntsman, far into the woods now, and never come back to the castle. Snow White turned and ran into the woods as fast as she could. Deeper and deeper she ran. It was getting dark, and the wolves were starting to howl. She tripped and her skirt was torn. Tall tree branches seemed to reach down to the very ground to grab her. She was scratched, bleeding, and scared. Yet she ran on and on.
Pemburunya berkata, "Kamu harus lari jauh di dalam hutan sekarang, dan jangan pernah kembali ke kastil." Putri Salju berbalik dan berlari ke hutan secepat yang dia bisa. Lebih dalam dan lebih dalam dia berlari. Hari mulai gelap dan serigala mulai melolong. Dia tersandung dan roknya pun robek. Cabang-cabang pohon yang tinggi tampaknya menjulur ke bawah untuk menangkapnya. Dia tergores, berdarah dan takut, namun dia terus berlari.
In the distance there was a light. Who was living so deep in the woods? She stepped up closer and saw that it was a cottage. Yet no sound came from the cottage, only light from the windows. "Hello," she said, knocking softly on the door. "Hello?" No answer. The door was already a little bit open. She opened it some more and stepped in. "Hello, is anyone home?"
Lalu tiba-tiba, jauh sekali ada cahaya. Siapa yang tinggal begitu jauh di dalam hutan? Dia melangkah lebih dekat. Itu adalah sebuah pondok, namun tidak ada suara yang keluar dari pondok tersebut, hanya cahaya dari jendela. "Halo?" katanya sambil mengetuk pintu pelan. "Halo?" Tidak ada jawaban. Pintunya agak terbuka. Dia membukanya lagi dan melangkah masuk. "Halo, apakah ada orang di rumah?"
Around. What a mess! She had never seen a messier living room. This cottage may be the biggest mess I ever saw, she thought. But it's a roof over my head for tonight. Maybe if I clean up around here, I can earn my sleep. As she cleaned, she thought of someone she already missed. Before her father had remarried, she and a prince who lived in the next kingdom were enjoying getting to know each other. They would take long walks in the royal garden and tell each other stories and laugh. After the queen had moved into the castle, her stepmother had made a new rule: no more visitors. Now the prince had to slip over the palace gate in secret. He would call out to her from under her window, and they could talk a bit that way. It wasn't as good as the long walks, but it was the best they could manage.
Dia melihat sekeliling. "Berantakan sekali," ucapnya. Dia belum pernah melihat ruang tamu yang lebih berantakan dari ini. "Pondok ini mungkin adalah kekacauan terbesar yang pernah saya lihat," pikir si Snow White. "Tapi itu atap di atas kepalaku untuk malam ini. Mungkin jika aku bersih-bersih di sekitar sini, aku bisa tidur." Saat dia membersihkan, dia memikirkan seseorang yang sudah dia rindukan. Sebelum ayahnya menikah kembali, dia dan seorang pangeran yang tinggal di kerajaan berikutnya mulai mengenal satu sama lain. Mereka biasanya akan berjalan-jalan di taman kerajaan dan saling bercerita dan tertawa. Setelah ratu pindah ke kastil, ibu tirinya membuat aturan baru, tidak ada pengunjung lagi. Sekarang pangeran harus menyelinap melewati gerbang istana secara rahasia. Dia akan memanggilnya dari bawah jendelanya dan mereka bisa berbicara sedikit seperti itu. Itu tidak sebaik perjalanan panjang, tapi itu yang terbaik yang bisa mereka kelola.
Now that she had to run away from home, would she ever see him again? After Snow White cleaned up the living room, she went upstairs. On the second floor there were 7 little beds lined up in a row, as if for children. Tired from cleaning, Snow White yawned and lay across all 7 of the beds. Soon she fell fast asleep.
Sekarang dia harus lari dari rumah. Apakah dia akan pernah melihatnya lagi? Setelah Putri Salju membersihkan ruang tamu, dia pun naik ke atas. Di lantai 2 ada 7 tempat tidur berjejer seperti untuk anak-anak. Lelah setelah bersih-bersih, Putri Salju menguap dan berbaring di ketujuh tempat tidur tersebut, kemudian tidur lelap.
In the meantime, the 7 dwarfs were heading home from a long day of working in the jewel mines. When they opened the door, you can imagine their surprise when they saw their cottage all cleaned up. "What kind of magic is this?" said one of the dwarfs, whose name was Doc.
Sementara itu, 7 kurcaci sedang dalam perjalanan pulang dari hari yang panjang bekerja di tambang permata. Ketika mereka membuka pintu, Anda dapat membayangkan keterkejutan mereka ketika melihat pondok mereka dibersihkan. "Sihir macam apa ini?" kata salah satu dwarf yang namanya Doc.
"I wouldn't mind more magic like this," said another of the dwarfs with a smile. His name was Dopey. "We'd better check upstairs," said another dwarf, whose name was Grumpy. "Something is fishy around here, that's for sure." There, lying across all their beds, was a young lady fast asleep. "Who are you?" said all the dwarfs at once. Snow White bolted awake. The 7 dwarfs could tell she was as surprised as they were. Soon they all relaxed and shared their stories.
"Aku tidak keberatan dengan keajaiban seperti ini," kata salah satu kurcaci sambil tersenyum. Namanya Duppy. "Sebaiknya kita periksa di atas," kata kurcaci lain yang namanya Grumpy. "Ada sesuatu yang mencurigakan di sekitar sini, dan itu pasti." Di sana tergeletak di semua tempat tidur mereka, seorang wanita muda tertidur lelap. "Kamu siapa?" kata semua dwarf atau kurcaci secara bersamaan atau sekaligus. Putri Salju segera bangun. 7 kurcaci tahu dia sama terkejutnya dengan mereka. Segera mereka semua santai dan berbagi cerita.
Snow White learned their names: Bashful, Doc, Dopey, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, and Sneezy. She told them all about her stepmother, that her stepmother had tried to get the huntsman to kill her, that the huntsman had set her free in the woods, and that she could never go back home again. "Stay here with us," said Bashful.
Putri Salju mempelajari nama-nama mereka. Bashful, Doc, Duppy, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, and Sneezy. Dia memberitahu mereka semua tentang ibu tirinya. Bahwa ibu tirinya mencoba membuat pemburu itu membunuhnya. Bahwa pemburu itu telah membebaskannya di hutan dan bahwa dia tidak akan pernah bisa pulang lagi. Kemudian, "Tetap di sini bersama kami," kata Bashful.
"Sweet," said Snow White, "but if I were to stay here at your home, I would have to do something for all of you." "You already cleaned up our place," said Sneezy. "Keeping the house clean will be easy," said Snow White, "as long as we all pitch in. I will let everyone know what part they can do, and I will do my share too, of course." "That's fair," said Happy.
"Manis sekali," kata Putri Salju. "Tetapi jika saya harus tinggal di sini di rumah Anda, saya harus melakukan sesuatu untuk Anda semua." "Kamu sudah membersihkan tempat kami," kata Sneezy. "Menjaga kebersihan rumah itu mudah," kata Putri Salju, "selama kita semua ikut serta. Saya akan memberitahu semua orang bagian apa yang dapat mereka lakukan dan saya akan melakukan bagian saya juga, tentu saja." "Itu adil," kata Happy.
"But there must be something else I can do for you," said Snow White. The 7 dwarfs shrugged. "Do you know how to read?" said Doc. "We have these books filled with wonderful tales and would love to be able to read them." And so it was agreed that Snow White would give them reading lessons. To celebrate their new friendship, Snow White and the 7 dwarfs sang and danced the night away.
"Tapi pasti ada hal lain yang bisa aku lakukan untukmu," kata Putri Salju. 7 kurcaci mengangkat bahu. "Apakah kamu bisa tahu caranya membaca?" kata Doc. "Kami memiliki buku-buku ini yang berisi kisah-kisah indah dan ingin sekali bisa membacanya." Maka disepakati bahwa Putri Salju akan memberi mereka pelajaran membaca. Untuk merayakan persahabatan baru mereka, Putri Salju dan 7 kurcaci tersebut bernyanyi dan menari sepanjang malam.
The next morning before they left for work, the 7 dwarfs warned Snow White that she must not open the door to anyone. After all, who knows what evil her stepmother might do? The princess nodded in agreement, and the dwarfs left the house. The princess prepared her first reading lesson. She also prepared a good hot meal for the 7 dwarfs when they returned home that night. And so the days passed. Back at the castle, the queen marched right up to the mirror. "Mirror, mirror on the wall," she demanded, "who is the fairest of them all?"
Keesokan paginya, sebelum mereka berangkat kerja, 7 kurcaci memperingatkan Putri Salju bahwa dia tidak boleh membukakan pintu untuk siapapun. Lagi pula, siapa yang tahu kejahatan apa yang mungkin dilakukan ibu tirinya. Sang putri mengangguk setuju dan para kurcaci meninggalkan rumah. Sang putri mempersiapkan pelajaran membaca pertamanya. Dia juga menyiapkan makanan panas yang enak untuk 7 kurcaci ketika mereka kembali pulang malam itu. Dan hari-hari pun berlalu. Kembali ke kastil, ratu berjalan ke cerminnya. "Cermin-cermin di dinding," tanyanya, "siapa yang tercantik dari semuanya?"
Snow White is the fairest of them all, said the magic mirror. That's impossible, screamed the queen. The girl is no longer alive. Snow White lives, said the magic mirror, and an image was shown on the mirror of Snow White living in the cottage of the 7 dwarfs. The queen turned red with rage. She screamed, "She will not get away with this!" At the cottage of the dwarfs the next afternoon, when the 7 dwarfs were away at work, there was a knock on the door. "Who is it?" said Snow White. She remembered the warning of the 7 dwarfs not to open the door to anyone.
"Putri Salju adalah yang tercantik dari semuanya," kata cermin ajaib. "Itu tidak mungkin," teriak sang ratu. "Gadis itu tidak lagi hidup." "Putri Salju hidup," kata cermin ajaib. Dan sebuah gambar ditampilkan di cermin Putri Salju yang tinggal di pondok 7 kurcaci. Ratu menjadi merah karena marah. Dia berteriak, dia tidak akan lolos dengan ini. Di pondok para kurcaci keesokan harinya, ketika 7 kurcaci sedang berangkat kerja, ada ketukan di pintu. "Siapa itu?" kata Putri Salju. Dia ingat peringatan 7 kurcaci untuk tidak membukakan pintu bagi siapapun.
"It's only a poor old woman," came a squeaky voice, "selling apples." Yet it was the evil queen, disguised as an old woman. "It's raining out here, my dear," said her voice through the door. "Please let me in." "Aw, poor thing," thought Snow White, having to go door to door selling apples in the rain. And so she opened the door. "Take a look at this big red apple," said the old woman, who, as you know by now, was really the queen in disguise. She held the red apple close to Snow White's face. "Lovely, my dear, isn't it?" "I would like very much to buy your apple," said Snow White, "but I have no money."
Hanya seorang wanita tua malang, terdengar suara melengking, yang menjual apel. Namun itu adalah ratu jahat, menyamar sebagai wanita tua. "Di sini sedang hujan, sayangku," kata suaranya dari balik pintu. "Tolong, biarkan aku masuk." Kasihan, pikir Putri Salju. Harus pergi dari pintu ke pintu menjual apel di tengah hujan. Maka dia membuka pintu. "Coba lihat apel merah besar ini," kata wanita tua, yang seperti yang kamu tahu sekarang adalah ratu yang sedang menyamar. Dia memegang apel merah dekat dengan wajah Putri Salju. "Cantik, bukan?" "Saya sangat ingin membeli apel Anda," kata si Putri Salju. "Tapi saya tidak punya uang."
"That fine comb in your hair will make a good trade," said the old woman. "Well, all right then," said Snow White. She took the comb out of her hair and gave it to the old woman, who then gave her the apple. Snow White took a big bite. Alas, the fruit was poisoned. At once, Snow White fell to the ground in a deep sleep.
"Sisir halus di rambutmu itu akan menjadi pertukaran yang bagus," kata wanita tua tersebut. "Baiklah, kalau begitu," kata Putri Salju. Dia mengambil sisir dari rambutnya dan memberikannya kepada wanita tersebut, yang kemudian memberinya apel. Putri Salju menggigitnya. Sayangnya, buah itu diracuni. Seketika Putri Salju jatuh ke tanah dalam tidur nyenyak.
Then the door flew open. In marched the 7 dwarfs, home from their day's work. Shocked indeed they were to find Snow White lying on the floor, and what must be her stepmother beside her, laughing. They chased that evil queen out the door and into the storm. Up to the very top of a mountain they chased her. All of a sudden, lightning hit the mountain. The queen fell, and she was never seen again. But there was nothing to help poor Snow White. She stayed absolutely still in her deep sleep. The 7 dwarfs gently lifted her into a glass coffin. Day and night they kept watch over her.
Saat itu pintu terbuka. Berbarislah 7 kurcaci pulang dari kerja hari itu. Benar-benar terkejut mereka menemukan Putri Salju terbaring di lantai dan terdapat ibu tirinya di sampingnya tertawa. Mereka mengejar ratu jahat itu keluar pintu dan menuju badai. Sampai ke puncak gunung mereka mengejarnya. Tiba-tiba, petir menyambar gunung. Ratu jatuh dan dia tidak pernah terlihat lagi. Tapi tidak ada yang bisa membantu putri salju yang malang. Dia tetap diam dalam tidur nyenyaknya. 7 kurcaci dengan lembut mengangkatnya ke dalam peti mati kaca. Siang dan malam mereka terus mengawasinya.
One day, the prince happened to pass through. Ever since he had learned that Snow White was missing at the castle, he was searching for her far and wide. Now he had finally found her, but in such a state. The prince pulled open the glass coffin. Her face seemed so fresh, even in that deep sleep. He gently took one of Snow White's hands in his own and kissed it. At once, Snow White's eyes opened. With love's first kiss, the evil queen's spell was forever gone. Now nothing stood in the way for Snow White and the prince to be together forever. They returned to the kingdom and lived happily ever after.
Suatu hari, pangeran kebetulan lewat sejak dia mengetahui bahwa putri salju hilang di kastil. Dia mencarinya jauh dan luas. Sekarang dia akhirnya menemukannya, tetapi dalam keadaan seperti itu. Pangeran membuka peti kaca. Wajahnya tampak begitu segar bahkan dalam tidur nyenyaknya. Dia dengan lembut mengambil salah satu tangan putri salju dan menciumnya. Seketika, mata putri salju terbuka. Dengan ciuman pertama, cinta sejati, mantra, ratu jahat hilang selamanya. Sekarang tidak ada yang menghalangi putri salju dan pangeran untuk bersama selamanya. Mereka kembali ke kerajaan dan hidup bahagia selama-lamanya. Okay guys, that's all my video of interpreting. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Bye bye.